Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. If this is your first episode, I'm going to reintroduce myself. I am Samantha, the owner of Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and I have brought along this time my favorite female shipmate, Kelly Roma.
Hello, Samantha. Thank you for having me back.
Welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. I'm super excited because we just went on our 14th cruise.
14.
Number 14. It's kind of sickening. We say that all the time. Like it's like, should we even like be telling people that's how many cruises?
I thought about that too.
It's a little embarrassing. Oh my God. So 14 cruises, which honestly we're super proud of, even though it's slightly embarrassing that that's how many we've gone on in 2 years. Is it 2 years?
Yeah.
So 14 cruises, and this 14th one was supposed to be to the Dominican days, but it got rerouted last minute. Like what? Like a month ago?
Yeah, I would say a month.
Yeah, about a month ago. It got rerouted to
Miami to Grand Turk and back.
Oh, it was so exciting. I was like beyond excited because I love Turks and Caicos. That was your first time.
That was my first time, and I loved it.
Yeah, super fun. I love Turks and Caicos. I've never actually been there at the port. I've actually only been on land. I've gone to beaches, Turks and Caicos. But this is my first time at port, so that was fun. And a lot of people gave us a bunch of recommendations. We weren't really sure what we were going to do. One of us, this time we actually sailed as a threesome.
We did.
We did sail as a threesome, but one of us stayed on the ship because they refused to get off the ship. And that threesome, the other part of the threesome was the hubs. The hubs did come along this time. I allowed him.
Hubs.
Yeah, my hubs, sorry. I allowed him to come along and join us. So he did not get off the ship at Grand Turks, but we did. So anyways, we'll go backwards. Or actually, we'll go back to us getting on board. And one of the reasons why we wanted to get on board was because also it was
The Halloween sailing.
ooh, Halloween spooky. Like, it was really cool.
It was. It was
Super
Friday
cool.
the 13th also, so that was cool too.
I totally forgot about that. It was Friday the 13th. And so when we rolled up, they were like, it was like a party up in that joint.
Yeah, it was all decorated. The whole outside the terminal had all kinds of Halloween decorations up.
Yep. And it was, there was a DJ. That wasn't like the DJ that sailed with us, right? Wasn't it a male?
No, it wasn't.
Because we had 2 females.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't the DJ that sailed with us. It was just someone out there pumping some jams out, and it was fun.
Yeah, they had a food truck too, but we
Yeah.
kind of drove by it, so I don't even know really what it was serving.
Yeah, it was, I don't know either. But there was a food truck out there. I don't know if it was free. I'm assuming it wasn't, but maybe it was. They were giving away free water. Remember that one time on J-Lo, they gave us the drinks?
Yep. They gave us
Smirnoff?
cans of something. I
Smirnoff?
don't remember.
Smirnoff. Smirnoff? Is it Smirnoff or Smirnoff? Nobody knows. Doesn't matter. Just drink it. But anyways, I feel like that's what the cans were. This time we did not get them. They just served us water. But we had the drinks when we got on board. So anyways, they gave us water. We danced to the DJ for a few seconds and then got on board. They actually, I don't know if we should even talk about this, but we're going to talk about it anyways. They actually held us back that morning. We got a message on our app that said, hold still. You should not be coming on board till later because
There was an outbreak of a norovirus on board.
So, for those of you that don't know me too well, I don't do well with the norovirus. It freaks me out, and I don't like it very much. So, I break out the hazmat suit, and I get a little freaky. So, I was like, I don't know what to do. And these two were like, it's going to be the cleanest ship we've ever been on.
Yeah, they're going to fog it right before we get on, right?
Meanwhile, we're all going to die of something, not norovirus, because we've been fogged with all the chemicals. So anyways, they told us to hold off and not get on board at our normal time. They pushed embarkation back like an hour or two or something like that. And yeah, so we took our time getting down there. But then when we got down there, they were already boarding.
Yeah.
So I feel like they had already boarded. They'd started boarding at normal time. And I did ask, and they said we did start it at normal time. So apparently the fogging was much quicker than they thought it was going to be.
They probably got everybody off quickly from
They
the
were
last
like,
sailing. They're
"And
like, get out.
get out of
We got
sick
things
bay."
to do.
I actually kept calling it sick bay and got a little bit in trouble about that because I shouldn't be calling it sick bay. And we did talk to, so just to ease anybody's worries, we did speak to a lot of crew because we know a lot at this point. And a lot of them said it was not as big of a deal as that you read on Facebook. So if you did read it on Facebook, know that it was not as massive as they say it was.
Right. So they told us it was 3% of the guests that were on board. There was probably 2,500 people on board, so that was like 80-something people we figured out. If
And I heard
that
it was
math
even
is
less than
wrong,
that.
please, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't do that in my head.
I actually was really impressed by that math.
No,
And
there
I
was
literally
no
like,
mathing.
I was like this.
There was no mathing
Lost
there.
it.
I just threw out numbers. But we heard it was 80-something out of 2,500 people. So
Yeah. And we both had some large groups, not huge large groups, but little small family, friends and family groups, and all of them did just fine.
Yep.
So it probably honestly was fine. But norovirus, if you don't know anything about it, is one of the quickest viruses to spread and the easiest way to not spread it. It actually is the most spreadable virus, but yet have you just do it right, you'll be fine. So wash your hands. Washy.
we're all adults here.
Yeah. So wash your hands. So with that being said, I did not walk around with medical gloves on or wipes, which is crazy, but I think the alcohol tends to kick in and I let all my crazy anxieties fall out the door when that happens, or the window, over the ship, overboard, whatever you want to call it, where they go, that's where they go when the alcohol gets involved.
Very true. Very true.
So, so I didn't stress out too much about that, but I did make sure not to eat with my hands. That is faux show. And if I did, there was a lot of hand washing prior to eating with my hands.
She was eating chips with forks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's what we were going to do, or I was going to do.
She was.
I was like, how do I eat this? I think I'm going to eat it with a fork and a knife because I'm not touching it with my hands. Anyways, that didn't happen. It was definitely thought about, but it didn't happen. So that was our embarkation. We actually got on board at somewhat of a normal time. That we just got right on board because we showed up an hour. What time did we actually show up? I don't know.
I think it was like 2:30.
Yeah, and we got right on board.
Yeah.
So, and there was definitely people on board. So we went to the rooms, and I will tell you something very funny happened. So if you follow me on Facebook, Samantha Fabulous Adventures Travel, you probably saw when my husband set off the alarm, the fire alarm in our room. Now, while I say that we did sail as a threesome, we did have separate rooms for those of you that are in your brain wondering how that all worked out. This is how it worked out. She was on one side of the cruise and we were on the other side. So, but yeah, so the hubs and I were in a sea terrace, central sea terrace actually. And it's funny because he was like, I need to iron my shirts. And while you know, there's no irons on board. So if this is new to you, understand there's no irons. You can't bring a steamer on board either. But you could probably, I shouldn't say probably, you can ask your room steward and I'm sure they charge you to have your shirts ironed. Well, these shirts aren't like super, expensive or anything. So he's like, I'll just turn on the shower really high, shut the door, put my clothes in there and let the steam fix it. So he does this. He opens the door to get his things out. And I mean, it was like a steam room, what came out. And it came out and went up, of course, right? And it starts going all over the fire alarm. And almost instantly, it was all beep, 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 or however long it is. I don't know if it's a beep, beep, or if it's a beep. I don't know. But it went off. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, you idiot. And he's like, what do I do? So I opened the door, which, by the way, it's hot and steamy outside anyway. So that was pointless because the cold front hadn't come through yet. So I opened the door thinking that's going to help. And then he gets out a towel thinking that's going to help. And he's like, going like this over the alarm. And the phone rings just like I thought it was going to. And they say, hello, this is the bridge. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. My husband set off the alarm because he decided to steam his clothes. Oh, so there's no fire in your room? No, no fire in our room. Okay, so but everything's okay there? Yes, everything's okay. And then they go, well, we're still going to send somebody down. I was like, I kind of figured that was the case. Sure enough, like, I don't know. It felt like seconds. Like they beamed me down, Scotty, not up, down. And they were like, boom, at the door, knocking at the door. And she came in and she did a check. I mean, she literally did. I think she looked in corners. Like she was like, she did her proper check. And then she looks at me and goes, oh, I know you. So that was the highlight of my day, that my husband set off the alarm. And then I knew the security lady that came and checked our room. Fantastic. So that was quite embarrassing. And so she said, it's okay. She called the bridge. They shut it off and off she went. So that was good. And she knew me because we had just done the bridge tour the week before. So that's how she knew who I was.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Oh, you didn't realize that part? Yeah. She came in and she was like, I know you. And I was like, yeah, I was on the bridge tour last week. Meanwhile, she's like, you didn't learn anything up there? We taught you everything. How did you mess this up? No, she didn't say that. She was super sweet. And so then she left and that was it. And then I looked at my husband and told him never to do that again, or he was staying on land because that was embarrassing. So that was the extent of our embarkation. And then we went to sail away party, which was super fun. Always. I love sail away party. I keep saying this. I'll say it again. If you are new to Virgin, make sure that you don't schedule dining during your sail away party. The sail away party, the best time is 5:30 to 6:30. So I would say anytime after 6:30 would be your best time to have dining.
I
correct?
agree. Yep.
Yeah. And then if you do the grog walk, which a lot of people like to do that first night, that grog walk starts at
9:30.
9:30? Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad you remember that because I was like 8:30. I don't remember. So 9:30, and then so that's a good time to kind of have dinner in there in that range.
Yes, eat a lot before you start the grog walk.
Because then the PJ party is even crazier, especially if you're gonna stay up. So yeah, so that was kind of what we did the first day. And then what did we eat? I don't remember. Hold on. What did we eat that night?
I don't remember.
Yikesies. Evie?
Pink agave?
No.
Razzle
Evie.
dazzle.
Evie.
Was it? The first
Yeah, it was
night?
Evie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Evie.
They
the
all
first
run
night.
together.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Evie. So we ate at Evie that night, and then we didn't do the grog walk. Although the zombie grog walk was super cool looking, and apparently there was new drinks, but then there wasn't new drinks.
We never really asked.
We were told there was new drinks, but then we saw something that wasn't new drinks, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, it was very Halloween themed, which was really cool.
They had Halloween masks instead of the masquerade masks, right?
Yes,
they have,
it was a bat.
Oh, yeah, right. It was a
Yeah,
bat.
it was a bat. So that was really cool. But it was definitely labeled the zombie walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything that was on the lineup was very Halloween. So
Yes. So the PJ party was a Halloween-themed pajamas, too, if you wanted to go in your Halloween PJs, which people did.
they did. They definitely did. I ordered some. They didn't come in time. But that's me waiting to the last minute. So you had Halloween PJs
I
on, didn't
did.
you? Yeah, yours was a
I had a pumpkin.
lantern.
Yes.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Yes, that was jack-o'-lantern.
Yes. And so we did that. We did the Halloween Halloween PJ party. And nothing was really different, but you know what was funny is that we talked about this, the diva was there, but the hostess was not.
Right.
She was not there. So we're wondering if she went down with the norovirus. But don't say that because people are going to think that she did. I don't really know. She wasn't there for 2 days, so she was ill probably. I would assume. But she was the only one. Everyone else was there. So it was funny. It was a very strange PJ party. It was different. But it was still super fun. We had a great time.
But if you weren't on 14 cruises, you would have not known that the hostess was
That's
not there.
right. It wouldn't have occurred to you that she was missing. And she did not sing, "Sweet dreams are made of." No, is that the diva that sings that? Who sings that? I thought it was her.
I don't.
I don't remember. Anyway, somebody sings that song. I thought it was the hostess. Gelman? Is it the hostess? He doesn't remember.
It could be either.
You know why? Because he's always feeling no pain during the PJ party as he giggles behind the camera. So yeah. So anyways, that was the PJ party. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we really did that was really cool. The ship was had a little bit of decorations here and there of Halloween. That was a really cool. What do you want to call that? But what the heck was that montage? Not a montage. What was it? It was like a little like a place to take a picture.
There was a couch right across from where the swings are on the Scarlet Lady.
Yeah.
And that was all decorated purple and orangey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Halloween colors.
Yeah.
And the couch was definitely old enough to be part of a Halloween like vampire thing because the spirals in it didn't work anymore, and they poked you right in the arse.
It's like somebody found it in somebody's attic that hasn't lived in the house since 1955.
It was perfection.
It was great, but you can't sit on it.
When you sat on it, though, holy boo! Like, that's what it felt like. It was, and we were like, this was us taking a picture.
They also had these random little things that, what do you call, photo booth props?
Yeah, photo booth props, yeah.
We couldn't really figure out.
I know, we ended up with weird ones, but we took it. It was fun.
Yeah.
We took the picture. It was fun. Oh my gosh, the treats everywhere were amazing. Galman's reminding me about the treats. Those were amazing everywhere. So they had this little Frankenstein. Was it Frankenstein? Yeah, Frankenstein marshmallow pop. And then everything was like purpley and, you know, orange and yellow and whatever and black and whatnot. So they had a bunch of stuff. They had these sugar cookies that they've never had on board.
Oh, they're so good.
They were so good. Diet was not held up for the sugar cookies. That actually broke the diet, was the sugar cookies. I was doing so well. And then what else did they have? They had this weird eyeball cookie that was disgusting, and it smelled disgusting. It was very green tea like.
I guess if you like that stuff.
Yes, if you like green tea, that was a great cookie. But I was looking for all the sweets on the planet. So
they had cupcakes in the galley.
They did.
And donuts.
Yeah, they had donuts. And then they had this really cool thing that had the rest in peace tombstone on it. That was one of their like, they took their normal desserts and just kind of made them a little bit more Halloween-y, which was really cool.
Yeah.
They did a good job with it. It was cute. I loved that part. But again, no drinks. That's the one thing that I thought would have been cool.
Yeah, we did not find any spooky drinks or anything with, you know, steam coming out of it or smoke or anything. Steam. Yeah, that would have been fun.
The fire and ice or whatever it's called, you know, like the, what is it called? Dry ice.
Yeah.
Like a little cauldron, a little witch's cauldron.
Okay, we need to put that on the feedback for next year.
A little witch's cauldron. Sip out of the witch's cauldron. It would have been great. Or even like, I love caramel.
Yes.
Apple or anything like that. That would have been a cool fall drink. So the next day was a sea day. So the way that the not Dominican days works is that it's sea day, port day, sea day, port day, home is how it works. So it was a sea day. And what did we have planned? We had a bunch of stuff planned. So I went to a couples massage without this couple.
Yes, I was not part of the couple this time.
It's not a threesome massage.
No threesome massages. Maybe me, you, and Susie, but not me, you, and Dave.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Oh my God.
We did do something new on this one.
We did a couple things that were new, which were super fun.
We were a little curious about the horse race.
Yep.
The seahorse race.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't really know what to expect. And we went to the first day where you bid on buying a seahorse.
But it's never interested us before. But we thought, okay, so everything that we always say that when we go on board, when you go on board 14 times, at some point we have to report back certain things to people. So we think we got to try new things. So this is one of the new ones. And it's never interested us before.
No.
Ever.
No.
And what's the review?
Okay, I kind of liked it because we did have a friend or a client that was on board that actually did win a seahorse. So we were kind of invested at that point. Mm-hmm. But when we lost, it was kind of like,
Yeah. So you bid on the seahorse. They give you this paddle, and you have to bid. And we had a stopping point that we were like, no, we're not paying any more for a seahorse past this point.
Right.
So it starts at $50, and it goes up in $25 increments. And so I was like, what did we say? It was $125 or $150?
Yeah,
I think
$125.
we would have $125. I think we would have pushed for $150, but we still, honestly, it still was a lot for a wooden seahorse. And I don't care. I mean, winning, I don't know. Not that we were winning the wooden seahorse, but it's a gambling game.
Yeah.
And whoever wins the full prize, except minus the 10% apparently is what Virgin takes from it. So keep going. Sorry.
So there were a lot of people interested. I mean, it was pretty crowded when we got there. So we had a little competition. I mean, there were some people that really wanted a seahorse. So when we figured out our max, we stepped back, you know, let everyone else go for it.
Yeah.
The winner ended up getting like $720, I think.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, for 6 seahorses.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And one person bought 2, which is, I mean, if you're that person, you're listening to this, I'm sorry. It's kind of crappy. I'm going to be completely honest with you because it would be nice to get other people to play. But listen, it's that person's budget. So whatever it works, it is what it is. They want to pay that much, they can pay that much. But so that's kind of, I think, one of the reasons why we didn't get into.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Again, she ended up seeing the rest of it. I had to work. I couldn't get off the phone with Virgin, and so you ended up actually seeing the game itself.
Right.
So you bid first, then what do they get to do?
Then you decorate. So you bid on the first sea day, then you pick a time with the artist to go and paint your seahorse, and then on the next sea day is when the actual race happens. So they put this vinyl board on the ground, and they roll dice, and the seahorses move based on the dice, and everyone around cheers, for your seahorse to move. And then there's a wheel that if you land on a certain number, you get to get up and spin the wheel. The wheel had either you go move back a space, or you can pull up the person in last place to meet you where you're at. There were a couple things to do. And again, the guy that won twice got up a lot to spin because he had two horses. So that was kind of,
Yeah, I can see that. So so I didn't get to see that part of it. I mean, hopefully next time I'll venture my way to actually see the last part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. From my review would be that I'm kind of like meh, still over it. But
I agree.
Are you still meh over it?
Yeah, I think that the actual watching of it was fun. I don't know that I would go and bid again because I don't care that much about it.
Yeah.
But if we had somebody that we knew that was in it, and we
sat
there and root for them, and that part was fun.
I agree with that. So we did that day. We also did, like I said, I had a couples massage, which was amazing. We did 75 minutes. We did not do the thermal spa. We just did the massage. We also did the slot tournament, which we always do, which was super fun. And Kelly actually won this time, finally.
I came in third place and won $200 for third place. That's not bad.
Yeah, that was super cool. And then I'm trying to see, I'm going through our list here. We did not do Lotteria Gigante this time.
That interfered with the slot tournament, and we had to choose.
Yep, and then we did bingo that night.
Bingo, let me tell you, when you're on a full sailing, play bingo.
Yeah.
The winner won, all 3 games that we played, over $1,000 for the first round.
Which is a line. And it was Diva with the bingo. Bingo with the Diva. It was Bingo with the Diva.
Which is a show in itself.
Yes.
So
yeah, it was really cool. That was awesome. And then she came out, she did a whole song and everything. But then, like she said, go play bingo because it was full. And it was $55 for the most amount that you could pay. We paid the most, right?
Yeah, and don't buy more than that because you are like punching numbers.
Oh my God, they move fast. This is no like Royal Caribbean bingo where they say B1. It's not that. It's like B1, N34.
It does go super fast.
It's like G58. Like, and you're like, oh my God, I've got all these things. Like, you're like a mess.
Yep.
You're like, I gotta look. And then they tell you, don't miss your number, otherwise you're not gonna get it. So it's like, it was crazy. But yeah, it was super enjoyable. I like it to move that fast because of the fact that, then it gets done. You're not sitting there like, when is this ending? Yeah. So it's nice when. But
what did the winner the last round won over $3,000?
Yeah, it was like $3,600. Yeah. $3,600.
Go play bingo.
It's not like Royal Caribbean, not to dog on Royal Caribbean, but it's not like Royal Caribbean when they're like, everybody come play bingo. You're going to win $500. And you're like this. How many people play this game? Yeah. So yeah, they give away a majority of the money.
That's one thing I do love about Virgin because even the slot tournament, they give back all of it.
Yes.
So however many people are in, they divide that up and then the top 3 people win. Yeah. So it's the same with bingo. They don't take anything.
Yeah.
They might take a percentage.
They probably take a percentage, thing. Same thing. I'm sure the same thing with the slot tournament. It's probably a small percentage, but it's not noticeable. Yeah. Because you can see. So like the winner of our slot tournament was 500. Mm-hmm. Then I think the next one was 300, and then you got 200. Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty decent slot tournament.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But bingo was super fun. We had a really good time on that. And then the next day was Grand Turks.
Yes.
Right? Where did we eat that night? Was it Pink Agave?
It had to be because we went every other night to Pink Agave.
Yes, it was Pink Agave. So it was really good. We had an amazing waiter. He was phenomenal. We had a really good time. That was good food. Yes, it was Pink Agave. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. So yes. Then the next day we went to Grand Turks. which was super fun and new for us. And we try to do an excursion now, even though we're not excursion people at all. I'd rather wander around and like, I don't know, do something. But we did an excursion and we thought it was going to be the best excursion ever. And then I might have had a slight freak out.
Just a tiny, just a tiny bit.
So, what was the name of the excursion? It was like a catamaran. I don't know what the name. Do you remember the name of it?
No.
So it was a catamaran, and it was, you're supposed to go snorkeling and go to a private beach, or I guess it was a private beach. And it was this huge catamaran. Well, I don't know. I think I had a vision of like, I don't know, 40 people. We roll up to check in, and there are like, you know, it looks like Disneyland up in this joint. Okay. There's people everywhere. And I'm like, this cannot be for the same excursion. Like everyone has to be going somewhere else. We're getting on a boat. This many people cannot fit on this boat. So we walk up and I looked at Kelly. I go, if she tells me that these people are here for this boat, we're leaving. I was like, I am not staying to go on a boat with this many people. It was insane. And so we walk up and we said to her, are all these people here for this excursion? And she was like, yes. I go, how many people does the boat hold? And she said 120. And I said, how many people are on the excursion? And she said
100.
And I looked at Kelly with the face of, I'm not doing this. And I think majority of it was I was super hot. I was pretty cranky. We had just shoveled in like 5 chips at Margaritaville before we got on the boat, because I thought, oh God, if we're going to drink, I better have something in my stomach. Even though literally when I tell you, it was like, that was the amount of time we had, was to eat like 5 chips. And because we got nachos. And I was done. Like I was pretty much done. It was 2:00. We'd been out in the heat for a while and I was pretty cranky.
And I was okay with it.
Can you believe it? I was cranky.
I was okay with it. If she didn't want to do it, I said, you know what? We did our research. We walked up. We saw that 100 people got on board. Some people don't want to be with 100 other people on an excursion. Not my idea of a good time. If this is what we had to pay for research, we paid this for research. So we go back to the ship.
Yes, it was 120. So I will tell you that. So that's what was keeping me there, was the 120, because I was like, oh, that's a lot of money to just eat and say, okay, I'm not going on the ship. So I see the ship, the boat, I should keep calling it a ship, the boat docks, and I start walking towards the boat. And I'm like, I'm going to interview all these people coming off there to see what they thought. Well, they're totally drunk at this point on rum punch. Okay. So they would have told me that, I don't know.
Captain Jack was on board?
Yeah, they would have told me whatever, because
that would have got her there.
Yes. I would have totally been like, okay. Yeah, they would have told me anything at this point. They were happy as can be. They were like skipping back to the ship. So I asked them, I said, what did you guys think? Did you feel like it felt
full,
crowded, full?
Yeah.
And they said no. I mean, they all said that they really enjoyed it. They thought they had a great day. So I took a deep breath. I looked at Kelly and I was like, all right, now the new plan was to get on the boat and see what it felt like. And I straight up told the lady that I was walking off if I felt like it was too crowded, only because I did not want to be crowded on a boat. I envisioned myself laying on the catamaran, on the net, enjoying the breeze, enjoying the moment. And I guess it was not what I had envisioned. I don't even know if I had to say I was laying there, but I mean, at least just comfortably hanging out. So we were like one of the first people on board. We found a good spot in the shade. And Kelly looks at me. She's like, are we staying? I go, I guess we'll stay. But we're so glad that we did.
Yes. It ended up being a great time.
It was so great.
Yeah. They did a good job. It was about a 25-minute ride out to where they took you to snorkel, and it's supposed to be the 3rd largest reef.
Yes, 3rd largest reef in the world.
And a wall of some sort. We didn't go to the snorkel part. You had to swim out pretty far from the boat. And
he freaked me out.
Yeah.
He kept saying, he was like, listen, do not go this way, do not go that way, or you're going to be in Bermuda if you go this way, and you're going to be in Miami if you go that way because of the current. And then he was like, so we park here so that you swim against the current while you have breath,
and then when you come back, it'll pull you back toward the boat.
In.
Yeah,
when you're tired. Freaks me out. I was like, I don't snorkel as it is. Like, I don't love snorkeling. I'm happy to look at fish from up above or in an aquarium. I don't need them floating around me. So I didn't. And I told Kelly she could go. I mean, if you wanted to go, you could have went. I feel bad. But we did get in the water and just bounce around.
Yep, we bobbed around with a couple other people that didn't want to snorkel either.
Yeah.
We tried to stay as close to the boat as we could.
Yeah, because the current was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it was it was pretty wavy.
moving.
It was definitely an indication of what was coming.
Oh, yeah.
For the next couple days. So it was like, I mean, the boat was going like this. We're bouncing around. Then you're bouncing into people. Like, it was crazy. So, but that was still fun. We got out, and then that's when they gave us drinks because they said they wouldn't give us drinks to snorkel, which I thought was interesting.
I thought so too because it was at 2:00 in the afternoon. So half the people that were snorkeling would probably come from Margaritaville or the ship where they were drinking all day.
Yes.
So
they were
they were trying to be safe.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. And then as soon as we got back on board, they started handing out rum and whatever you wanted. Rum punch, rum Coke, rum Sprite, rum whatever. All the rum.
All the rum.
It was definitely all the rum. So we had that, and then they took us to the beach. And he pretty much beached the boat. And then we got off and then sat around and whatnot, it wasn't long though. We just hung out on the beach. It was super fun. And then we got back on and went back. It was a really nice excursion though.
I loved the beach. The sand was so soft. The water was warm and clear. I mean, I could have stayed there even longer. And we had no chairs, no towels, no nothing. We just got off the boat, got in the water and just hung out.
Yeah. It was a really good time. They played loud music. We danced. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures again, just going over it. Yeah. Super fun. Then we got right back on the boat.
We were the last ones on.
And then we ate at my good favorite, Razzle Dazzle.
It was okay. I actually
What the hell?
enjoyed my meal.
I had you eat the carrots.
The carrots. I would have never thought to order carrots for dinner.
I've had the carrots. They're actually really good, but it is very strange.
It is.
Because there's carrots and then foam, white foam.
We haven't figured out what that other thing is.
What are the little pellets underneath?
Oh my gosh.
There's little pellets.
Rabbit food? Just kidding.
There's like little pellets underneath.
It's some sort of pasta or...
Yeah, definitely. Or rice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's actually really good. But we did eat at Razzle. It was good. We had the it's not the old fashioned anymore, but the popcorn drink, which is not the old fashioned. It's a tequila margarita, which is really good. And then I can't remember what else we had. It was a lot, but it was good. I don't know that I love it. I still don't love Razzle Dazzle. Like I'm not like running
great
there.
for brunch. Go there for breakfast or brunch. It's great. Bacon is fantastic, even though it's different than it used to be. It's so good.
Yeah, it's definitely different, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ate there, and then that night we ended up in the poker room. So if you don't know this and you love poker, World Poker Tour has a room on Virgin Voyages, on Scarlet Lady, I should say, on Scarlet Lady. No other ship, Scarlet Lady right now. They have a tour, they have a room, a poker room, filled with, I don't know, 5 or 6 tables, maybe even 7 tables where they hold tournaments and they also have cash games. So as we were walking in trying to take a picture of our drunken selves from the boat, this gentleman that we harassed, his name was Chris, we definitely harassed him, and he took a picture for us, and then he said, why don't you ladies come to the poker room? And we were like this, we don't play poker. And he was like, so what? We have a free learn and play game. And so we were like, okay. So we decided to go do that. How much fun was that?
I loved it. And you know why I loved it? Because it was free.
Yes.
I was playing with chips that meant nothing to me. So if I wanted to keep myself in and bet away, I did.
Yes.
But I did learn. I mean, I know how to play poker.
Yeah.
But
I think the betting, I keep saying the betting is what throws out poker. I totally understand poker. I know the hands. I get it. I know how to play. It's the betting when they're like, when he was saying, if someone raised, you had to raise. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there.
I know. We're still we need to go back for another lesson on our next sailing.
And I need to be like, focus on the betting, not the cards. Focus on the betting.
Yeah.
So that part is like, yeah, if someone raises, then you got to raise more. I don't even know. Yeah. So that part freaks me out. But had the best time and really enjoyed learning it. And now I have an itch to play. So I think next time, Kelly doesn't know this, but we're going to go play poker.
okay.
We're taking some money. And guess what? The people at the table that know how to play are going to be like, yes, when we walk up.
They will be. They will be.
They're going to be like, I'm taking all their money.
She has no poker face, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
She shows everything on her
I'm like
face.
this. These suck. Yeah, I'm not good at that game. But I'm going to have to be on my best behavior. Watch this. I got this. Want to see what my hand is? Can you tell?
Yep. You got a great hand.
And here's the worst part is we tell each other everything. And that's it's not allowed.
We shouldn't sit next
So
to
I'd
each
be
other
like
next
this.
time.
What do you have?
Yeah, they're going to sit us on opposite ends
They're
of the
not
table.
going to let us sit together. And then I won't be able to kick her under the table. I know this is all cheating. Trust me, I do know that it's all cheating.
It was all for fake money.
It was for fake money. But still, we probably should not sit next to each other. Anyways, it was super fun. So if poker is your thing, on Scarlet Lady, don't miss it. There is a charter cruise that World Series of Poker actually chartered the whole cruise. You can find it on their website, I guess, and book it through there. Because they're doing like all tournaments and stuff. So I think that would be super fun for anyone that's involved. We cannot book it. So know that if you're going to come to us, we cannot book it because it's a chartered cruise. So we have nothing to do with that. But yeah, go play poker. Everyone in the room is super nice. Chris is nice. And then there's another Chris that apparently we're going to meet on November 29th, which I'm very excited about because he has been writing on our page a lot. So that's what we did that night. So the next day was
Another sea day.
sea day. I do like my sea days because I feel like we can always chill and hang out with people and whatnot. So I do love my sea days. And there's 2 always on those 5-night sailings. So that's always nice. And what did we do?
What did we do? We started, I think, pretty late. We got a late start that morning.
We did too.
The first thing I remember doing was we got to go see a comedian hypnotist on board, which was really fun. And I hope they keep her around or bring her
she comes back.
Yeah.
So they do this festival of stage. You've heard me talk about it before, where they bring on a different acts every week or every 2 weeks. I don't know what the actual pattern is, but she was not on board when we were on board 5 days earlier. So I don't know if she was on board the sailing previous, but so she was a hypnotist and she hypnotized people. Now, I'm not a huge believer in hypnotism. Are you?
I believe in it, but I don't believe that I could be hypnotized.
Right. So I always think that these shows, because it's people, I do think, I should take that back. Let me rephrase that. I do believe in it. I think it can happen, but I feel like it needs to be in more of a office setting where it's quiet. You're paying attention, you're really focusing. But I mean, she hypnotized these people up there. She had about 20 people up there and she didn't get everyone. That's obviously, I'm sure, bound to happen. But it was totally true that she got at least 5 to 8 people up there were hypnotized. And they were hilarious. And if you talk to them afterwards, which we did, and said, do you remember this? Do you remember doing that? I mean, yeah, it was really cool.
It was hysterical. I literally had tears pouring down my face at one time because it was just so funny.
It was funny. Well, it's funny to see people do that. And the guy next to me, so there was an empty seat and where his wife was sitting, she had gone up. So she asked for volunteers and you could just go up and get up there. She wasn't picking people out and saying, you come. It was you basically doing it on your own. And the guy next to me, his wife went up and he looks at me at the end. He goes, my wife would have never done any of that. So I thought that was funny. I mean, I don't know how true that is because listen, when you're up there and there's 300 or so people staring at you and they ask you to play an instrument and you're like, crap, I can't be the only one sitting here. You're going to play an instrument, an air instrument of some sort, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to sit there and not do it. So, I mean, these are some of the little things that she asked them to do, but it was a really cool show. So if you see her name's Nadine. She's actually on Instagram and whatnot. And if you meet her in person, she's actually really, really super sweet because we actually got to meet her. But it was a great show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We saw the big one. She was in the Manor a couple times, and then she did a big one in the Red Room, and it was really cool. So really enjoyed it. We did that, and then that's when you finish the Seahorse. You actually finished the Seahorse tournament as well. True. I think I worked a lot. I don't remember doing much else, honestly, that day. Worked and rested, I should say. Enjoyed the hammock as much as I can. We met clients on board. So one of our favorite things to do is that when we sail with you, if you're not sailing directly with us as a group, we love, and I should say, really love to meet clients. I love to meet people that actually know who we are, know who I am. Always, if you see me on board, please come up and just say hi. I love it. I love meeting people that have listened to the podcast. I think it's great. That happened a lot this sailing, which was super fun. So we ended up meeting some of my clients actually for drinks that night. But we met Kelly's clients earlier in the week and we didn't add that in. But we met all of our clients on board, but it was super fun. That night, we actually ended up meeting a couple of my clients. And then we had dinner no, that was Scarlet Night. Sorry, I'm totally backwards. Yeah, we didn't even meet clients that night. That was Scarlet Night. So that was Halloween.
Right.
And we had lots of Halloween things. So we had brought costumes to wear. And I was a little stressed about it because, I don't know, we didn't know if anyone else was going to dress up. It's weird. Like, you just don't know. I love Halloween. I do like dressing up, especially if I have the time to do it. So we did bring costumes. Well, I forgot eyelashes because I just wasn't thinking. And I don't normally wear eyelashes. I mean, fake ones. But for this costume, I felt like it was a necessity. So I was like, ooh, the coolest part about the fact that there's a Mac store downstairs is that when you forget things like that, you can run downstairs and get them. But you cannot get a hairbrush.
No. Someone stole my hairbrush on the first day, and I didn't get it back until we got home.
That's why we're best friends. She's so nice. Lets me use her hairbrush. Because let me tell you something. Kelly's hair looks great without a hairbrush. Mine would look like Bozo the Clown, okay? It does this wacky, like, frizzy, weird, curly thing. And I had no hairbrush whatsoever. So I did go on a hunt one day when I realized that the hairbrush was missing, and which was probably the second day. And there was no hairbrush to be found. Not a good one anyways. And so I was like, did you bring a hairbrush? I honestly expected us to walk it back and forth.
You know, every day after I'd get out of the shower, I'd start getting ready, and I'd go to blow dry my hair. I'm like, oh, she still has my brush. But she was getting ready at the same time. So I was like, oh, you know what? I had another brush with me. It just wasn't a round brush.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just dealt with
But
what happened.
Good. Let me tell you. So when she come to dinner, I'd be like, oh, how does your hair look that good without a brush?
Like, maybe I don't need a hairbrush.
I was like, wait a minute. Mine would have been everywhere. Anyways, so I forgot my eyelashes, ran down to Mac and bought eyelashes. But while I was out there, obviously people had already dressed up a little bit, but they were all in red. And so I was like, you guys, nobody's in costumes. What do we do? And so then we decided not to wear costumes. We decided to wear red and go to dinner. And that if we saw a lot of people in costumes, we'd change. Well, you know what happens. I mean, let's be honest. We went to dinner.
Had a few drinks.
And said,
it's too much work to change.
No costumes. So that's what happened. But we did go to the costume parade, which was a little confusing.
It was. You know, one thing I will say that I didn't like, that they had the costume parade at the same night as Scarlet Night. We had 5 nights to choose from. Mm-hmm. I feel like they could have put the costume parade on another night.
I agree.
Because there are people... We go to Scarlet Night all the time. Okay, yeah. This is our 14th sailing. Yeah. If we didn't have Scarlet Night, we wouldn't have been that upset.
Yeah.
But there are people that were there, not necessarily for Halloween, that probably wanted a true Scarlet Night.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't get it.
No.
A true Scarlet Night. It wasn't bad Scarlet Night, but it was not a true Scarlet Night. So, true to Virgin, the wording was a little confusing. So we weren't sure what this Halloween parade was, this costume parade. So we thought, oh, cool, we're going to go to the costume parade and see all these people. I was picturing, like, the Happenings cast and all these people, like, walking around in Halloween costumes. What were you picturing?
I was, too. I thought because it was in the roundabout, so that's where it started. My vision was, okay, they check in with the judges, do whatever. They got their picture taken. And my thought was they were going to walk around, like, around the promenade and parade themselves around the roundabout.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
No, not even close.
Was... walk up, stand in front of the judges, get your picture taken, and then move about the ship.
Yeah.
So we probably didn't even see all the costumes. I mean, we saw people obviously walking around, but it wasn't like a parade where...
Yeah. We definitely did not see what we thought we were going to see. Mm-mm. So then once we realized what it was, we were like, we're going to dinner. But we had already missed Test Kitchen at that point. Mm-hmm. So we had to scramble and find a place. And thank goodness we know people for being on board 14 sailings, and they saved us. So that was awfully nice. They got us into Pink Agave. And that helps a lot.
Yes.
And so we ate there, had the best shot of my life. We were just talking about this, actually, was that I'm going to be buying the shot more often.
They have great tequila at Pink Agave.
Yeah, they're known for that. Like, it's like, you name the type of tequila, it's there.
Yep. So we had a pretty good shot.
By accident. We have no clue what we're doing. We're amateurs at this, okay? So he said to me, do you want a mezcal shot? And I went, no. I knew I did not want that, okay? So then he goes, what do you want? And I was like, well, it has to be a Blanco shot. I said, first. I said, and second. He goes, well, what do you want? Anejo? And I go, sure. I don't know what that is. Fine. Well, if you like tequila and you know what that is, you know that I just spent a lot of money on that shot. But I didn't know that. So, but the shot was the best shot ever.
It was really good.
It was smooth. It was awesome. So what was the shot after we looked it up?
It was Don Julio. Some year? 1942?
Gelman says 1942. So yeah, so that's what it was. If that means something to you, that's what we got that night. And then we saw it on our bill. And we were like, oh, well, there's that.
Thank goodness for Sailor Loot
and a bar tab. For a bar tab. Okay. So that was fun. And so then we went up to, well, we saw Scarlet Night start at the roundabout. Mm-hmm. And they were all in costume. So they were all in red costumes. Yes. Which was super cute.
Oh my God, they were all adorable.
Yeah, all super cute. They did the normal Scarlet Night dance and whatnot. Then they went and did all their things that they normally do. We went to the sip and I had the Scarlet Night drink. What's the heck's the name of it?
High on Life?
High on Life. That's it. Get that drink. It's so good. Kelly didn't get it and she...
No, I got a pumpkin spice latte, which was really good too.
Was it good?
Yeah,
that was like that was an actual Halloween. Well...
Yeah, but
fall.
I thought it was on.
It was there before, yeah. There before, I mean. So yeah, Kelly got that. I got the High on Life. It was really good. If you haven't had it, it's only on Scarlet Night and it's really good. And it comes with a feather. That's fun. And then we went to the Grounds Club because they have a DJ there during the interim of opening of Scarlet Night and pool party. So we went there and she was awesome. She played 80s music.
Oh, we had some great 80s music.
Oh my God, she was the best. I don't know who she was, but she was fantastic. She played my all-time favorite song, which has shook me all night long. So I was an absolute disaster. And anybody walking by, I'm sorry, but the tequila shot had kicked in. So there was a lot of interesting things happening during that moment. But so if you saw me, please forgive me. That's my favorite song, and I was feeling no pain from that shot. And then we headed upstairs. And so what happened upstairs for Halloween was...
So if you are familiar with Virgin, Scarlet Night has a pool party at 10:45, which again in the app said 10:30, so people did show up a little early for this. It did say 10:30. That's why we met somebody that morning or the next morning that said they went to bed because they went there and there was nothing going on.
Yeah.
So it did start at 10:45 like Scarlet Night normally does, but it didn't start as Scarlet Night. They weren't dancing or anything. It was the contest winners. They were announcing the winners on the pool deck. So they announced honorable mentions. There were 6 honorable mentions and then the top 3.
Yeah.
And they won some pretty cool prizes.
Yeah, they did. So if you're on board, make sure that you bring a good costume if you're on board. I don't know when this is going to go out, but they won some pretty cool prizes. So it was $250 Sailor Loot, $500 Sailor Loot, and a free cruise.
Yeah.
So
free cruise went to Iron Man, and he was awesome. I mean, he had the whole get up. His mask came down by itself. He had lights in his hands. And he did a good job on that costume.
Yep. And then Prince was second place, and Prince looked awesome.
Prince he was great.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. And then the third place was steampunk people.
Steampunk warlocks.
Is that what it was?
Yes. It came to me the other night. It came to me the other night. I was like, oh, I got to remember that.
I'm glad you did, because I remember the steampunk part, but then I was like, I don't know what the rest of it was.
They were great too. There were a lot of great group costumes.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I won't give it all away because, research your own costumes.
Right. Because we sucked. No, we didn't even end up wearing them, obviously. And then right after that, they did start Scarlet Night. But because of that, Scarlet Night was definitely shortened. It was. Because it did feel like it ended much earlier. But it wasn't earlier. It was the exact same time. It just seemed to end sooner. But that could have also been the shot.
Could have.
Who knows? Who knows? But it was super fun. Scarlet Night was a blast. And then that was it on Scarlet Night, right?
Yeah.
And Halloween.
Yeah.
That was the culmination of Halloween. Board, no. It was really cool though. And then the next day was Bimini, and a cold front had moved in, and it was freezing.
We wore sweaters to Bimini and never took them off. We laid on our lounge chairs with our towels on our legs, wrapped up. It was chilly, and the waves were violent. I mean, I've never seen it like that before.
Yeah, it was crazy. And no one was in the pool. This woman was doing laps in the pool, and it made me giggle because I said to Kelly, I go, you'll never see that. Someone doing laps in the pool because the pool is always full. And so this woman was just having a grand old time doing laps in the pool. I was proud of her because, hey, take advantage of it. But you never, ever see that because there's no space. So then as soon as the float party started at 1 or 1:30, I can't remember what time it is, but as soon as the float party started, they started throwing the floats in, and everyone got in the pool. I was blown away because the pool was actually really cold. I expected it to be warm because we were just there a week ago, if that, and it was warm. But I guess I don't know. It cooled off enough. The pool cooled off enough that I was not getting in it. It was freezing. You couldn't have given me enough tequila shots to get in there. Well, maybe. Probably.
But listen, those floats got everyone in the pool. It was like little kids that didn't care what the temperature of the water is. They got a brand new toy. They wanted to go play with their toys. Yeah. So once those floats came in, the pool stayed pretty busy for a couple hours.
Yeah. And then as soon as the float party was over, it cleared out because it was cold. It was super, like, windy. Like, the palm trees were going over. Like, it was crazy. Tilting, tipping, whatever you want to call them. Bending. Totally windy. Crazy. But it was awesome. It was still fun. I mean, I love Bimini. It's just a great, great place. And it was nice to not be dying of heat, though. I will say that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't love wearing a sweater.
Right.
But it was nice to not be dying of heat. So, yeah. So it was good. And then that night we ate at Pink Agave again? No. Where the heck? Oh, the Wake.
Yes, the Wake.
And we got the corn.
Get the corn.
Get the corn. So the Wake was fun. And then that night, I don't even remember what we did.
We hung out with your friends.
Yes, we did. Oh, that was it. Oh, no, we saw that show.
Oh, yes. There is a Halloween show on board.
There was a Halloween
the Diva show. I can't remember what it's called at the moment.
Yeah.
But it is the Diva, something about Halloween in the manor. It's different.
It was good.
It's different.
It was good.
Listen, they're very talented. The Happenings cast are talented people. Yes. So, you know.
It seemed thrown together, the show, which I'm sure it was because of the fact that it was, you know, a show for Halloween that I'm sure they just started coming up with the concept. It seemed thrown together. It was a little campy. It was a little hokey, but I still thought it was entertaining. It was something to watch. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but it was definitely not something that should stay around for a long time. But it was definitely something to watch. And the ship was bobbing and weaving that night. So, yeah. But we calmed down after a while.
Yes, we survived.
Yes, we did. And then we hung out with our friends, with my new friends. Hi, new friends. I'm sure you're listening. I won't call you out by name. But it was very nice hanging out with them. Actually, we met them the first night, and it was super fun to meet them the first night and hang out the whole time. So
yeah, it's always fun meeting people and then running into them here and there, and then hey, what are you doing? You want to go for a drink? You know, it's always fun knowing people when you're on board.
Yeah, because it was just the three of us this time. So.
Yeah.
So that was our time. I love the Halloween cruise. I'm glad that we got to do it. And I'd totally do it again. I love Halloween anyways. I think they did a good job. The only thing I think they're missing was, like we said, Halloween should have been on a different night. Mm-hmm. There should have been more Halloween drink. And what else? That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Did I have a third one? I feel like I should. So that was it. So yeah, so we'll leave you with that. If you're getting on board, I don't know when you'll see this, but if you're getting on board and you still have a Halloween time left, you'll know what's going on, or Halloween cruise left. But thank you so much for spending the time with us, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I am Samantha with Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and we'll see you guys again soon, and we'll say, you float our boat.